Minute by Minute, brought to you in part by Lincoln.
Football legend OJ Simpson, wanted for murder, takes off in a white Ford Bronco.
Suspect named authorized James Simpson.
The slow highway chase.
And I was saying, I'm not going to shoot OJ. I don't want to do it.
Past thousands of spectators.
People holding homemade signs on cardboards, "We love you, Jews."
Oh my God, these people are warped.
Becomes the ultimate reality TV show.
It was like, wow, how is this going to end?
Confusion.
My priorities were rearranged for the day.
So we watched 15 seconds. It will never leave my mind.
Tonight on Minute by Minute, the OJ Bronco chase. June 12, 1994. 11:45 p.m. Los Angeles International Airport. American Airlines Flight 668, bound for Chicago, is cleared for takeoff. Sitting in first class is 46-year-old Orenthal James OJ Simpson, the retired NFL running back and actor best known for his Hertz commercials. A half hour later, at 875 South Bundy Avenue in the affluent community of Brentwood, LAPD officers discovered two bodies, both brutally slashed with a knife. One is immediately recognized as Simpson's 35-year-old ex-wife and mother of his two children, Nicole Brown Simpson. The other, a white male, remains unidentified. KNBC TV reporter Conan Nolan is preparing to work the late shift when he gets word of the killings.
I remember getting a phone call from the assignment desk and one of the managers there who said, "We need to come in early. O.J. Simpson's girlfriend is turned up dead, along with somebody else."
Nolan races off with a camera crew to stake out Nicole Simpson's condominium, a few miles from her ex-husband's home on Rockingham Avenue. Simpson's flight lands at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. Detectives reach Simpson at his hotel in Chicago and inform him that Nicole has been murdered. When he hears the news, Simpson cries out in disbelief. At the Brown family home in Dana Point, California, Denise Brown, Nicole's 37-year-old sister, is awakened by a ringing telephone.
All of a sudden, I hear this scream, and I run back to my mom's room. I'm like, "What's the matter?" And she says, "Nicole's been murdered." And I'm like, "Oh, my God." I said, "No." I started screaming.
Denise, who knows that Nicole's relationship with OJ has at times been violent, has only one suspect in mind.
I said, "Oh, my God, he finally did it. OJ Simpson, he finally murdered her."
1 hour later, Simpson is back on an American Airlines jet bound for Los Angeles. From the first-class cabin, he calls the Brown family.
I said, "You murdered her." And he's like, "What? What, are you crazy?" I knew in my heart that this man was responsible for killing my sister. And then he finally hung up.
Detectives swarm over the Bundy Avenue crime scene, looking for clues. They are outnumbered by reporters and camera crews. LAPD Deputy Chief David Gascon deals with the media onslaught.
Hundreds of news media people that had descended on the city, people involved in looking at the story. We were inundated with telephone calls.
Police immediately suspect the former football hero of the deadly crime. It's 7:30 a.m. In the New York newsroom of the syndicated show American Journal, producer Jeremy Spiegel watches television reports with staff members.
Immediately, the ears are perking up, the eyes are perking up. Wow, this is going to be a big story.
Back in L.A., where encounters with celebrities are a fairly common occurrence, the news hits closer to home. Dirk Valley has recently worked on a television pilot with O.J. Simpson, where he met Nicole on the set.
It's kind of like, well, that's weird. I just saw her a couple of months ago. Nicole and the kids came out, and he introduced them to some of the other actors and stuff.
25-year-old Alita Boston hears about the crime driving to her job as an insurance claims processor in El Segundo.
I just remember thinking that, you know, who did it? I never thought OJ did it.
OJ Simpson returns to his Rockingham estate. There, he is met by detectives and, for a brief time, handcuffed. Cameras capture the image, making it clear to the world that the LAPD considers Simpson a suspect. Tony Dill, a Los Angeles-based producer for NBC News, is on vacation at the time.
I happened to be walking past a TV set, and I saw O.J. Simpson in handcuffs, and then I just stopped. And the idea that he was involved in some murder was just very, very difficult to understand.
Robert Ajakwe, a Los Angeles public school administrator, catches news reports while on break.
I felt really sad for the victims, more so than the suspects, because anytime human life is lost, it's a tragedy.
Members of law enforcement, like millions of other Americans, feel a nostalgic bond with Simpson. Orange County Sheriff's Department Sergeant Jim Sewell.
When I was in high school playing football, O.J. Simpson was the greatest running back that I had ever seen.
40 miles from the crime scene, Santa Ana Police Sergeant Richard Merg hears the talk around the station about the murders.
I was wishing he wouldn't have done it. And those are my feelings. I was just rooting for him, and he's a hero of mine.
Santa Ana officer Jay Miller, who has recently separated from his wife, is watching television with his police dog when he hears about the murders. His first thought is that O.J. is somehow involved.
Whether you're rich or famous or poor, or it doesn't make any difference. People are capable of committing heinous acts no matter what their status in life.
Police have identified the second murder victim as 25-year-old Ron Goldman. In San Francisco, Goldman's younger sister, Kim, arrives home from work. Her boyfriend tells her to call her father immediately.
My dad was just praying that I didn't hear about it on the news, and my dad told me over the phone. For me to lose my only sibling, for me to lose my best friend, that's an awful, awful feeling.
One full day after the murders, reporters and a crowd of onlookers stake out the crime scene, fascinated by every morbid detail of the case.
There is blood caked onto the walkway. No one had washed it off. And as I'm about to report, a car pulls up. Somebody pops out of the driver's seat of the car, runs over to the walkway, and chips away some of the blood and takes it as a souvenir. I was flabbergasted.
Over at Rockingham, O.J. Simpson is trying to escape the press and sneaks out through a hidden path on his estate. He is driven by his friend, Robert Kardashian, to Kardashian's home in Encino. 3 days after the slayings, Beverly Hills psychiatrist Saul Fairstein is asked to meet with Simpson at Kardashian's home, where Simpson remains in hiding.
I met with O.J. alone for approximately an hour and a half that first evening to find out how he was and what was going on.
June 16th, 10 a.m. As detectives continue to collect evidence at the murder scene, O.J. Simpson attends Nicole's funeral in Brentwood and the burial service in Lake Forest.
I broke down crying because there you see this casket laying in the middle of the aisle. And you just think that, you know, if it wasn't for the person that was sitting one person down from me, this girl would still be alive.
A funeral service is also held for Ron Goldman.
He was never able to realize his dreams, but he was very goal-oriented and just full of life.
The same day, audio tapes are released revealing that in 1989, police were called to the Simpson home.
911 emergency.
O.J. Simpson, I think you know his record.
Okay, just stay on the line.
I don't want to stay on the line. He's going to beat the shit out of me.
Wait a minute, just stay on the line so we can know what's going on till the police get there.